The sun had just started to set, painting the city in shades of orange and gold. Outside a brightly lit toy store, little Emma pressed her small hands against the glass window, her eyes sparkling with excitement as she stared at a beautiful Barbie doll in a pink box. Her mother, Clara, stood behind her, holding a worn-out handbag and wearing a tired smile. Life hadn't been easy lately. Ever since Clara lost her job at the diner, every day had been a battle between feeding her daughter and paying rent. Still, she tried to keep a smile for Emma, hiding the pain behind her gentle voice. "Mommy, can I have that Barbie?" Emma asked softly, turning around with hopeful eyes. Clara's heart broke. She wished she could say yes, just once. But her wallet held only a few crumpled bills, barely enough for bread and milk. She knelt down and cupped Emma's face lovingly. "Forgive me, sweetheart," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Mommy can't give you a Barbie doll right now." Emma's smile faded, replaced by confusion. "But, why, Mommy? Did I do something bad?" Her innocent words cut through Clara like a knife. "No, baby," Clara said, holding back tears. "You did nothing wrong. Mommy just needs a little more time, okay?" She hugged her tightly, and that's when she noticed a man standing a few feet away. He was dressed in an expensive navy blue suit, his shoes polished, his presence calm but powerful. He had been watching quietly from the corner, his expression unreadable. His name was Daniel, a wealthy businessman known in the city for his success and his solitude. He had everything money could buy, except peace in his heart. Years ago, he'd lost his wife and daughter in a tragic accident, and since then, he'd lived alone, building empires but never smiling. As Daniel watched Clara comforting her daughter, something stirred inside him, an ache he hadn't felt in years. He remembered how his little girl once begged him to buy her a Barbie, and how he had been too busy on a business call to notice the sadness in her eyes. That memory haunted him now. Clara picked up Emma and turned to leave, whispering, "Let's go home, my love." But before she could take another step, Daniel approached gently. "Excuse me," he said softly. Clara turned, surprised. "I'm sorry, I couldn't help but overhear. Your daughter likes that doll." She hesitated, unsure of his intentions. "Yes, but it's okay. We'll get it some other time." Daniel looked at Emma and smiled kindly. "How about I get it for her?" Clara's eyes widened. "Oh no, sir, I can't accept that. We don't take charity." Her voice was firm, but her hands trembled. Daniel nodded respectfully. "I understand. But consider it a gift, not charity. From one parent to another." Clara looked at Emma, whose eyes were full of hope again. She wanted to say no, but she couldn't bear to see her daughter sad anymore. Finally, she whispered, "Thank you." Daniel nodded and entered the store, returning moments later with the Barbie doll in his hand. He knelt down and gave it to Emma, who squealed with joy and hugged him. "Thank you, mister," she said, her face glowing. Clara's eyes filled with tears as she watched her daughter's happiness. "I don't know how to thank you," she said softly. Daniel smiled faintly. "Just promise me one thing, never stop loving her like that. That's the greatest gift any child could ever have." They talked for a few minutes, and Clara learned that Daniel had lost his family. She saw the pain in his eyes, the pain of a man who had everything yet nothing at all. Before leaving, Daniel handed Clara his business card. "If you ever need help, call me," he said. Clara nodded, overwhelmed. As he turned to go, she called out, "Sir, may I ask why you did this?" Daniel paused for a moment, his voice soft but full of emotion. "Because once, I was too busy to buy my daughter the same doll. And I never got the chance again." Tears streamed down Clara's face as she hugged Emma tightly. Daniel walked away slowly, the weight of his past lifting just a little. For the first time in years, he felt peace. That night, Clara placed the Barbie doll on Emma's bed, and as her daughter fell asleep hugging it, Clara looked up and whispered, "Thank you, God, for sending an angel today." The next morning, Clara received a call. It was Daniel's assistant. "Mr. Daniel wants to offer you a job," she said. "He was deeply moved by your strength." Clara couldn't believe it. She accepted, and within weeks, her life began to change. She worked hard, proved her dedication, and built a new life for herself and Emma. Months later, Clara met Daniel again, this time in his office. "I wanted to thank you again," she said. "Not just for the doll, but for believing in me." Daniel smiled warmly. "No, Clara. Thank you for reminding me what love looks like." As she left his office, Daniel looked out the window, thinking of his daughter. Somewhere deep inside, he knew she was smiling down on him. He had finally done what he couldn't before, make a little girl's dream come true.